Hey, I'm doing good, primitive elements. Thanks for asking. But yeah, okay, so basically I gotta set up the mission select glitch. And I mean, all the mission select glitch is, to be straightforward, is having the yes no confirmation box ready to be used while still being able to move around. Which, I mean, there's a really simple method of doing that with silver for this particular mission. All you gotta do is make sure you're over the order, talk to this guy, and you cycle through the dialogue until you get the yes no dialogue box to show. And since you died, you have freedom of movement and you can accept that mission at any time. So once you do the mission select glitch, you want to head over to this guy. And this works with other townspeople as well, but you preferably want someone with a lot of text. And this accordion player allows you to do 7 presses in order to get before his dialogue goes away or whatever. So I want to position myself in such a fashion so that Amy would be close enough to talk to him, but I'm too far away. So that's what I'm basically doing right now. The reason for that is because whenever you enter a town area, the game automatically makes you and any AI controlled player that's following you attempt to interact with the townsperson, believe it or not. Now, if that townsperson, or if there is a townsperson close enough to you for that to actually happen, then it will happen. So right now, I'm too far away from the accordion player, but Amy is close enough. So when I come back to Soleanna Castle Town, what should happen is Amy should be talking to him, and I should be able to move around freely. If that happens, then I can move on to the next step. If not, then I gotta set this up again. The reason why I needed to have a mission is because whenever you accept the mission, it saves your position and your AI controlled partner's position. So when you come back, that's where you end up starting at, as you can see. So even if, for example, I take a death like so, that's where I will always show up. So basically, upon respawning after a death, Amy is going to talk to the accordion player, which is cool because I'm going to need that set up for the next phase. The next phase deals with dialogue storage, which if you have a conversation going on and you start up another conversation, it basically makes it so that whatever conversation was going on now stays there, even though like certain events might happen. Like for example, I can die and that conversation will still be there. Like you'll notice it a little bit before the other one comes up. So yeah, the old conversation is there and the new one is there, but the new one isn't stored, the old one is. So I can die and the old one will stay, but the new one will always go away. So anyway, keep that in mind. That happens whenever you have a conversation going and then you start up another conversation. So I'm going to be using that in a very specific way. So the way this game handles certain events, like talking to a townsperson that offers a mission, is whenever you talk to a NPC in town, like they can either tell you something that's not beneficial to making progress, something beneficial to making progress, or they can offer you a mission. If the person offers you a mission, then what happens is when a conversation ends after talking to that townsperson, that's when the yes no confirmation box, or in the event that it's a mission that, you know, conversation ends and it sends you to that mission, that's when that'll actually take place. So what I'm gonna do, set up another mission select glitch, but this time I'm gonna make sure that I'm still holding on to the X button. So for this entire time I'm holding on to the X button because I'm gonna need to talk to the storyline based mission, which is all the way over here. And I'll explain a little bit about what's going to be going on when I do that. Okay, so I'm going to walk all the way over here.
Maybe I'll talk to some people in the town.
And in order to talk to him without interfering with this yes no dialogue box, I'm going to have to pause the game for 1 frame while not holding on to anything, which is really easy to do thanks to the Xbox home menu. So I'm going to go over here. I am going to talk to this guy. So I'm still holding on to X, by the way. I'm going to pause the game, let go of X. Going to unpause it, bring up the Xbox home menu. So now there was one frame in the game where I was not holding on to X. And now I'm going to hold on to X as I continue. So now I can talk to him. So in the current state of affairs, the game is saying that the next time a conversation ends, that I should go to the mission where I have to protect Soleanna Castletown from the invading enemies. Okay, so keep that in mind. The next time a conversation ends, that's what's supposed to happen. Now, the accordion player's conversation has now been stored, so I can do a lot of things without making that go away, including enter a mission. So, now that I've entered that mission, I still have the accordion player's dialogue box up, and there's a flag in the game that says, when the next conversation ends, go to the mission where you have to protect Soleanna Castletown from the invading enemies. Now, the beauty of this is that when I quit this mission, the accordion player's dialogue is still going to be there. And I'm going to have freedom of movement because technically I'm not really in a conversation right now. This stored conversation does not affect me in terms of my movement, which is lovely. Okay, so that's why I'm not stuck talking to him when I come back. Okay, so from there, when this conversation ends, and that's what you got to remember, when this conversation ends that's currently going on, the game is set to make me go to that particular mission. So as long as I don't talk to any townspeople or interact with these hints, I'm pretty sure you can't interact with them at all, otherwise that'll mess it up. As long as I don't do one of those two, then when this conversation ends, I'm gonna go to the mission where I have to protect Soleanna. So because that particular dialogue or conversation that I selected has so much in it, I have some presses that I can use at my disposal. So that's the one that I just used. And now I can use this box to get in the appropriate position to clip into this building, hopefully. Nice. So I used another press after that. And I still got plenty of presses left. So I'm going to use one here to jump into Dusty Desert. So this conversation is still going to be carrying on. It's going to follow me into this cutscene with Amy, which I can just press start to skip that. And that doesn't affect my text box. And now, as I mentioned before, the next time a conversation ends, I'm going to go to that mission, right? Well, I am currently in Dusty Desert. So I'm going to end this conversation. This is the last line right here. So when I end this conversation, bam, there we go. So now I am in Protect the Gate to the Castle Town. And this is a storyline based mission. So when I finish this mission, what the game is going to do is set up objects to spawn, like based off of what their location should be. It's going to be like the Soleanna mirror. It's going to be the barrels, the crates, the townspeople with a mission. All of that good stuff is going to get spawned. However, what the game doesn't do is set up the location you're supposed to be at. The way that the game does that or handles that is the location that it sends you to is based off of the location that you were at when you first activated the mission, which in this case is not going to be Soleanna Castletown. That's what it's supposed to be, but that's not what it's going to be. It's going to actually be Dusty Desert, and that is how I was in that state that some of you may have entered the stream on. And once I finish this mission, you'll see what I mean. Alright, there we go. So now that the mission is complete, like I said, the place that I activated this mission from was Dusty Desert, not Soleanna Castletown like it was supposed to be. So because I did that, object placements are going to take place, and those object placements have a specific position and location, like a certain XYZ coordinate, but that's going to actually take place in Dusty Desert and not in Soleanna Castletown, including my own position, because they spawn me at a certain XYZ coordinate as well. So that's how I enter into this state, for those of you who are wondering. So yeah, this is basically, in terms of object placements, what's supposed to be in Soleanna Castletown after I complete that mission. But since I am doing that, or since I entered that mission from Dusty Desert, all of those object placements are taking place here in Dusty Desert. So yeah, that's basically what I was looking at. So I mean, I'm still technically in Dusty Desert because I have options like start over instead of save. If I die, I will lose a life. The shop is here. Amy just got bodied. The gondolas are still here. The mirrors to Dusty Desert and Aquatic Base are here. Missions are here. Soleanna silver medals are here. And all of these are, as I said before, based off of if I was in Soleanna Castletown, not if I am in Dusty Desert. So the layout is exactly as it would be if I was in Soleanna Castletown, just with it being placed inside of Dusty Desert. So yeah, that's basically how it was done, for those of you who were wondering how it was.